Hey everybody, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. So in today's pick a card, I was hesitant to do this one because it talks about other people hurting, but today is what is their karma for hurting you? So, it's one of those things too where if someone hurts you, like they're obviously going to get some karma back at them that's going to hurt them in return. So it's just kind of how the universe works, right? Or they're going to receive some karma for how they hurt you. So I wanted to do this reading. I saw this post on another person's I don't know if you guys know who Aphrodite is, but I saw someone suggest this or ask him to do this, and I thought, okay, I should do this reading or this type of pick a card for my channel. And this is going to be going into if you've had anyone who's hurt you in your past or someone who's wronged you in any way, and you're kind of curious, like, well, man, when are they going to get theirs? This reading is going to tell you that. So whether you're aware of it or not, with these readings, we're going to get a little insight into what their karma is for hurting you. Without further ado, let's get into the groups. So for group 1, we have this mystery agate. For group 2, we have this green jade. For group 3, we have this Tiffany stone. Take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. And with that said, we're going to move on to the reading, starting with group number 1, the mystery agate. Hey, group 1, this if you picked the mystery agate right here. This lovely triangular stone. Almost looks like carnelian. I'm just not sure what kind of agate it is. It's some kind of agate. I think it might be Botswana agate. But I don't know. I bought this at a bin at a gem show just because I really liked the crystal, but didn't really know what it was. So let's get into your reading. So let's get some oracle cards to start. I'm gonna pull. Okay, we have Yin and Soulmates. Interesting. We have 2 that came out. I'm gonna pull another Oracle of the 7 Energies card, I think. Let's see this one wants to come out. We have Beautiful Uncaging. And then I want to pull up Uncover Your Past Life Oracle card. And then we'll get into the tarot cards. We have Maritimer. And let's pull one more. Whoa, that one wants to come out. Whoa, flipped up on the table. Cool. Okay, yeah, the cards are all over the place right now. Which to me just kind of indicates that this connection or this person, whatever they did to you, was kind of all over the place, or it came at all different angles or something like that. So let's get some tarot cards. What is their karma for hurting group 1? We have Knight of Cups. We have the Tower. We have this one that wants to come out too. We have the Hermit. Okay. What I'm seeing with this person right off the bat, with soulmates here, I feel like this person presented themselves as one of your soulmates, or they tried to seem like you guys had like a unique, divine, unshakable connection. And in reality, it wasn't quite like that, or they weren't as invested in the relationship as you were, is kind of what I'm seeing. With Maritimer, they were an explorer, so they might have had multiple options, I feel like on one hand, they really did feel like you were someone that was a soulmate. They just weren't ready to like commit to you for the long run, right? I also see that one thing they did to you is push you into a relationship. Like they kind of got really pushy, like we should settle in together, we should move in together, we should make this a commitment, we should we should get together and just be a couple, right? Meanwhile, it's almost like they weren't still ready to commit, even though they were pushing for it. With performer, musician, actor, dreamer, entertainer, I feel like this person could have been in the spotlight in some way, or was creative in some way. With performer here, I feel like with the piano keys, I'm just seeing them kind of like making songs for you or performing music for you or something like that, but not really being that serious in their commitment to you. With beautiful and caging, I see that there's a few things happening here. They really unlocked a part of you. This person unlocked a part of you that was like locked away or hidden away, like part of the reason why you loved things or the reason why you would fall in love with things. I think 14 here is a sacral chakra card. So I feel like sexually, there could have been something sexually with like them awakening you sexually or something like that. This person is giving me like first love vibes. I feel like for a lot of you, this was your first love. This was someone you fell head over heels for, and then they kind of broke your heart. With yin over here, I feel like this person doesn't know how to receive. They just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, right? With yin here, this is kind of the ultimate like lesson that this person has to learn, right? That they're getting their karma for you, right? Because they kind of told you that you were their soulmate. They told you that you just need to open up to them. They told you that, that maybe you're being too caged is kind of what I'm seeing. Or maybe you're being too reserved or something like that you need to open up and you need to be more open to relationships and soulmates and stuff like that. I see that you guys had your guard up before this connection, and it was for good reason, but I feel like this person was just so captivating with Knight of Cups here. This person was so captivating and romantic, and they really sold you a bill of goods that they were your soulmate, even though, how do I put this? I feel like sometimes they thought they were too, right? It's like, this is one of those piles where it's like they unintentionally hurt you. It's one of those things where it's like, I know you guys probably don't want to hear that. You probably want to feel like they have some kind of ulterior motive or something, but it's almost like they unintentionally hurt you. With performer here, they were just really good at playing a role, and sometimes even they believed the roles they were playing. But with beautiful and caging, they really opened you up. They opened up your heart. And so in a way that was like a positive thing that was happening to you, that was good, even though they kind of shut down your heart later is kind of what I'm seeing. With Explorer, I feel like this person got you out of your comfort zone a little bit, which is a good thing. But at the same time, they exposed you to certain things that you weren't ready to see yet, or you weren't ready to experience yet, is kind of what I'm seeing. So here's where their karma comes into play, right? With Knight of Cups, this is saying that their karma is related to their romantic figure, that the romantic figure that they cut through the world, like how they present themselves, how charismatic they are, how charming they are. The thing with Knight of Cups here, their karma, it's interesting. With the Tower here, they're being blocked off from all relationships from anyone except for their actual true soulmate. And that's what they're getting as their karma for telling people that they're their soulmate. This person kind of, even though they believe that everyone is their soulmate, there's this vibe that like they're not going to find their soulmate until it's the soulmate standing right in front of them. It's like they're only going to find their future partner, their future spouse, their future committed person when that person is standing in front of them. For example, this person, after they've been with you, you might realize they may have had a few other relationships, but right now in their life, they're not really successfully dating anyone, or they're not being with anyone right now. Or if they are, there's always some kind of disaster that strikes their relationships that lands on their end of the situation where they're struggling, they're in pain, they're in like torment, right? They have to jump ship because of some kind of disaster that's happening in their relationships. This is the karma they're getting for selling you that bill of goods about them being your soulmate, basically. So with the Hermit card, their ultimate like thing is to learn how to be in solitude, right? Because I feel like one of their things is that they were so, how do I put this, eager to commit to a partnership that they forced things into being or lied about things that weren't necessarily there. Like they shared feelings or lied about feelings that weren't necessarily there in the first place. And so with Yin, they're learning how to receive from the universe. They're learning to accept what comes into their life instead of forcing everything all the time. One thing that I am seeing though with how they opened you up with the exploring stuff, part of them that opened you up, part of the good part about them, because this is kind of a mixed group. It's like they did some good things, but then they ultimately broke your heart. With Beautiful and Caging, I see that their heart they're being more aware of their own motivations in their heart. That's something that's coming through. That's like a positive karma that's happening to them. That's actually good for everyone in the future in the long run, because the more they know their own sense of self and their own heart space, the more they can make authentic connections and know who they authentically connect to, instead of like faking relationships and telling people they're the one, right? This reading feels pretty short, so I'm going to roll some astro dice to see if I can get some more information, just so we can extend the reading a little bit. So we have seventh house, house of partnerships. That makes sense. Communication and Aries. Yeah, I'm just seeing the same stuff. Like Aries is talking about how they were the initiative, they were the initiator, they were the initiative taker, and they pushed and forced and made things happen. They're kind of like, and with Mercury here, it is mainly done through communication, through words. This person was an excellent communicator. They had a way with words, and they were very captivating with how they spoke and stuff like that. With the seventh house here, there's definitely that vibe of soulmates. Like, you thought this person was your soulmate. You thought this person was the one. You thought this person was your destiny. And then they just weren't. They left. With the Knight of Cups here, they left and they moved on to greener pastures. They were looking for something that was, how do I put it? They were looking for just another relationship. Like, they left you high and dry, basically. They like opened up your heart, and then they just left you with your heart wide open, like longing for them. So I feel like this is their karma, is that they're not going to be allowed to be in a specific relationship, or any relationship for that matter, without difficulties, until they find their soulmate. Like, they're basically, all their relationships from this point forward are going to be unsuccessful until they find the one. That's kind of what this soulmates card is saying. The soulmates card is saying they faked being a soulmate to someone, but then they're only going to get their true love when they find their true soulmate, if that makes sense. And it might be a long time before that happens. The Hermit is this very old man. It could be that they find their soulmate in very old age, at the very end of life, but they're destined for a period of singlehood, or being single for quite a while, just because, yeah, that's their karma. Yeah, so their karma is to be single, or have relationships that are unsuccessful until they find that person, which I think is going to be later in life. The universe is saying, like, well, you messed up, buddy. So we're going to throw you people who you pretended to be someone's soulmate. So we're going to throw people who you might think are your soulmates, but the relationship's just going to get messed up and they're not going to be the right one. So that's kind of their karma. There's also a second message coming in here where it's like, things that you could learn from this person, or the things that how do I put this? The things that they blocked off from you. Because I feel like with this Explorer card, they really wanted you to open up and explore the world, or like do things like that. And with Yin here, there's this vibe of you being, you had your receptivity open, but now that they're gone and they hurt you, your receptivity is closed. So a way that you can heal yourself is what I'm seeing with this Yin card, is opening yourself up to more things that the universe is providing you. Because I see where the universe is kind of sending them negative people, the universe is trying to send you positive people, right? So for example, with Explorer, this is basically saying that on your end, how you guys can like benefit from this connection or reap your good karma from this, is that if you open yourself up more to the universe, to the people the universe is sending in, I see that the universe is sending in better people for you, people who you can explore new feelings with, and true and honest feelings, right? There might be some rough patches because you have been hurt, and it's almost like sometimes when someone's wounded, it can be hard to open up again, and it can be hard to share parts of ourselves again that we shared at the first time. But the one thing that I'm seeing with Yin here is opening up could be very beneficial to receiving some of the blessings the universe offers. You guys might even find you have a couple soulmates in queue for you, like true, honest soulmates. So I encourage you to open up. That's their karma, and a little bit of your karma if you choose to accept it. So with that said, I'm going to end the reading there. We're going to move on to group 2 with the green jade. Thank you guys again for letting me read for you. It was an honor. If you like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're moving on. Thank you guys again for letting me read for you. I will see you in the next pick a card. Bye. Hey, group 2, this is if you pick the green jade. So really cool stone right there. Green jade helps with abundance and wealth, and also health, I think, too, which is interesting. Okay, so let's get into your reading. I'm going to start with the Wisdom of the Oracle card, and I'm going to pull 2 just because I'm going to take these 2. We had group 1 had 2 of these cards, so I'm taking 2 for this group as well. And I'm going to get a chakra, Oracle of the Seven Energies. It's like Clet Baron Reed, which is like a chakra deck. And we have Healing the Heart. And I'm going to get some Uncover Your Past Life Oracle cards to get some other information about them. We have this one that wants to come out. We have Teacher, Instruction. Then we need, this one is just jumping out here. We have two here. We have Torture. Wow, okay. And we have Murder. Okay, these are definitely, I'm going to put them all right here. Oh, I'm already getting mad at this person. They definitely have some karma coming to them. Let's see. Let's get some tarot cards to see what is their karma. What is this person's karma for hurting you? Let's draw here. We have Six of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and the Magician. Okay. Okay, so here's their karma. So first we have a few things happening. So I want to draw your attention to these past life cards. We have Instruction, Murder, and Torture. This was someone who is in a position of power over you. We see this again with the Six of Pentacles as part of their karma too. Someone who was in power over you and was either teaching you something or they were like trying to educate you on something. Now, this could be so many different things. So for example, this could be someone who was a teacher in school, right? This could be someone who was like a boss at a job and they were instructing you on how to fulfill the activities of the job. What I'm seeing here is this person overstepped their power with you, and they actually made it very uncomfortable for you to learn these instructions that they were teaching. You were forced into this situation with this person, and they took advantage of your vulnerability is what I'm seeing. The reason they did this with Healing the Heart, they had a broken heart at the time. They were wounded because they had someone break their heart, and they were taking it out on other people in their environment. They were just in a really dark place is kind of what I'm seeing. And that's like the interesting thing here is that they needed to like heal their heart before they actually took it out on other people. It was like they needed to kind of they needed to deal with their own shadow, because without that, they're just projecting their shadow on everyone else and like hurting other people. Because we have Murder and Torture here, meaning that this person really hurt you. This person, like, I'm seeing for some of you, this person made you look stupid, especially with the teacher card here. They could have made you look dumb in front of the entire class. Like, this is one of those teachers that kind of, how do I put this? That they don't mind picking on students and making them look stupid in front of other students. And I'm seeing that this person kind of did this to you. They made you feel dumb. They made you feel insecure. And they're definitely getting karma for it. We're going to go over their karma in a second. But I just wanted to like clarify so you guys know if you picked the right pile, because this is someone who really like they picked on you. It felt like they were personally attacking you. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. With Murder here, it left like it's kind of like it left like a little bit of a like you have like this tainted heart about like your experience in this situation or this institution, whether it was school or work or something like that. Whoever this was that was teaching you, for some of you, this is a relationship. It was someone who was in a relationship with you and was trying to teach you things in the relationship. Like, you need to do this now and you need to do that now and stuff like that. Like, just kind of someone who's pretty bossy, I guess you could say. But this is someone who is trying to teach you how to be a certain way. They were like invading your space and telling you like, you need to be like this, you need to do this. Or if it's a school thing, they literally called you out for being stupid. Part of their karma with the Six of Pentacles here is they are going to be, because they're abusing their position of power, later in life, they're going to be in a position. I don't know if this is happening soon, just so you guys know, this could happen to them later in life. They might actually still be pretty powerful. I think their main karma that the universe is trying to get them to focus on is healing the heart. This is something that is karma that's happening to them, not because of what happened with you, but because the universe is trying to help them heal their heart space so they don't do these things to other people again. That's the first step. And then they're going to actually have to pay for their actions for how they were mean to certain students or mean to certain people or made people feel stupid or kind of had this torture murder mentality with their teacher attitude, right? So with healing the heart, the universe is first asking them to heal their heart space, right? Yeah, with this Six of Pentacles, this is what's happening later in life. They are going to go through a period where they are in such a subservient position to someone else in power, and someone else, it's interesting. Someone else, how do I put it? They have some kind of downfall financially. They're going to be in some position where they're subservient to someone else and reliant on someone else to provide them with resources, finances, even instruction, like similar to how they were teaching you. But the main thing I'm seeing is resources. Like someone is going to be in charge of their resources and they're not going to have access to their specific resources, like their money or their home or something like that. And someone's going to be holding it over them. Yeah, this is just giving me vibes that they have someone who's kind of like an unfair charity broker or something like that, or there's someone who there's someone who's like tasking them with activities that they have to do in order to like keep their home or like to keep their lifestyle or to keep their finances is kind of what I'm seeing. There's just this vibe of like something happening to them where they're in a subservient position to someone else financially and they're going to feel what it feels like to be in the lower position of power. I feel like for most of their life, they've been in a higher position of power. They've had this authority, but they didn't start bullying others until they had their heart broken, right? So they're going to have this position. It's going to probably last the same amount of time that they spent bullying other people. So if you guys know this teacher or you've heard other students talk about them bullying other students or something like that, this teacher is going to pretty much get theirs in the financial department. They're going to be struggling for money. Or resources or something like that later in life. They're also with Nine of Spades, they're being laden with a lot of guilt. That's kind of some of their bad karma coming through is their karma coming in for them. They're going to be laden with a lot of guilt. As soon as they heal this heart space, this is an immediate karmic payback from thinking of like, imagine someone who like is an alcoholic and they're normal when they're not drunk, and then all of a sudden they're drunk and they hold their power over others and they're like abusing them and they're saying mean things to them and stuff like that. This is kind of like someone who needs to heal their heart space, and this is kind of like healing the heart is kind of representative as them getting sober, right? Once they're sober, they're like, whoa, look at all these horrible things I did. Like when I was like brokenhearted, I like was so mean to people, I was so rude to people, I was just this cruel, mean tyrant. They're gonna have a lot of guilt that's gonna keep them up at night. This guilt is going to cause them to have some nightmares. They definitely won't be sleeping well, and they'll have some like really bad feelings about how they hurt you. Basically, they're going to have like, and this is not just goes for you, because I'm seeing they did this with other people too. It's not just your karma that's accumulating in them. That's something they did to you. It's like you're one of many that they hurt, and they're getting this guilt trip about it. They'll be having dreams basically of the nature where they're like in the position of a teacher and they're like being really mean to the student and they're going over more mean than they were in real life, basically, but to the point where they're acting out, how do I put it? For example, like when you're when you guys are both experiencing the situation, the teacher might be bullying you, right? But they might not realize the extent of how much they're bullying you. And you're feeling this certain pain or embarrassment or whatever it is that happened with this teacher. In their dream, they're going to be engaging their activity, like they're going to be bullying like an imaginary student in the dream to the point where they're going to feel their own self get to a point where they're, how do I put it? Where you are reacting to it, they're going to have the level of bullying in the dream that is equivalent to how you felt about the bullying in real life, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But in the dream, they're going to get so angry and so aggressive that they're just going to wake up feeling really guilty and like ashamed, basically. There is a good lesson to their story. There's a good thing in their story that's coming up a little bit. With healing the heart, clean it up in the fates, I am seeing that this is kind of like in their karmic contract. Essentially, it was to have all these kinds of experiences in this lifetime. With clean it up, there's this vibe here where part of healing the heart for them is like cleaning up shop or cleaning up their house or something like that. This could also be something that happened to you after this person was bullying you. Maybe you felt like you were just dirty and you needed to clean yourself or something like that, or to take a shower or something like that, because this person like like hurt you that deeply. And I feel like maybe you guys became a little OCD because of it. Like because this person made you feel so dumb or had this way of like hurting you, you guys became a little bit OCD with like keeping your environment clean and stuff like that. I feel like for them, they're working through some of that karma by having to be very like a caretaker for someone else, if that makes sense. Like they'll be struggling financially and they'll also have to be the person that has to be a caretaker for someone else who can't clean up after themselves, something like that. With the fates, this is just telling me a lot of this is destined to happen essentially for them. And even for you guys, even though you're a part of, this is part of their, like I'm mainly reading their story here and you are a part of it. This is something that's happening to them that there's part of their destiny to like learn this karma in this lifetime. This is from previous lifetimes too. Their reward at the end of this lifetime, I know it's like messed up, right? Because they hurt you and they're getting a reward, but because they've processed through all this negative karma and they're getting that karmic payback for how they hurt you, and they're feeling that same sense of guilt for what they did, and they're being put in that same position. With the Magician card here, they're going to be given a gift to manifest things that they want in this lifetime, and in their next lifetime they're going to receive all those manifestations. So they're going to be ending their life as an old person thinking like, man, I really wish I had this in life, or I want this in my next life, or I want this in my life previous to now. If they're religious or something, this is going to be them thinking about heaven or something like that. Like, I hope heaven's like this, something like that. But basically their next life, they're going to come back and they're going to get a lot of their wishes granted, right? And that's because of their later life karma where they're not getting certain things granted and they kind of abuse their power. They're going to be getting a lot of reward in a sense. I know that sounds like messed up, but like they're really paying for it with these other things, right? With their healing their heart. And part of it too is it's one of those things where I don't know if this is going to make you guys feel better or not, because I don't know, but with healing the heart, the reason that they were being so abusive to the people around them was because their heart wasn't healed and someone hurt them, right? So it's no excuse, obviously. It's no excuse at all. But that's just kind of their karma. They were meant to go through this process in this lifetime. Let me get roll the astro dice to see if there's any more things coming in that we have the 6th house, we have Saturn, and we have Scorpio. Yeah, with cleaning up the 6th house, I see that starting a routine is part of the reason why they're healing their heart. And I think that that's part of the reason, that's kind of like your good karma from this person. I think this person made you sit up and think for a second. And I feel like this person got you, whether intentionally or not, somehow later down the line after being with this person, they're part of the reason why you started a positive routine in your life, a positive routine to clean up your life or to get things moving in a good direction. With Saturn, this is definitely that's like Saturn is the card of the teacher, or of like a teacher that teaches you hard lessons. So there could have been things in this connection that this person maybe taught you some really hard lessons, and even though they hurt, there was a little bit of truth to them. It's hard to explain with Scorpio, because I am seeing Scorpio as kind of like uncovering the truth, or seeing the truth of the matter, or something like that, like investigation. And so I think that it's interesting. I feel like this person could have said it in a completely different way and you would have learned the lesson easily and without pain, right? But because this person said it in a specific way, you learned the lesson in a painful way, and it made you resentful to them, and it made it actually more difficult for you to learn the lesson. So this is more of like a very karmic kind of situation. I think that you guys are going to learn the lesson eventually. I think there's going to be someone else who says the same thing to you, but they say it in a really nice way, or they say it in a way that makes more sense, and it triggers an activation in you, right? Yeah. With the 6th house, I am also seeing OCD kind of things coming up here. The other thing that I'm seeing with Scorpio and the 6th house, this person actually, something that you're going to gain from this person is, I think it's the 6th house that talks about hidden enemies, right? Or there are 6 houses like enemies out in the open, and 12 houses hidden enemies, or something like that. Anyway, it's talking about enemies. I think you're going to be able to clearly see who your enemies are from this point forward and know how to keep distance from them. This person represented an archetype for you of someone who you want to avoid throughout life. And I'm seeing that the people that you encounter that you have gut instincts towards with Scorpio here, that are your enemies or that are going to provide hardships for you, you now know to avoid them, right? It's like making it really clear for you. It's making it very like obvious, like who the enemies are in your life. So that's a really beneficial thing that you're getting from this connection, for that you had to, that the reason why this is like teaching you a lesson in a sense is so you know who to avoid in the future, right? You know what types of people are going to treat you wrong, and you have a clear understanding of that now. And it took this hurt to do that, but now you actually have that clear understanding. So with that said, I'm going to end the reading there. I'm moving after that. This reading, we're going to move on to group 3 with the Tiffany stone. But first, if you like the reading, like or comment below. If you really enjoyed the reading, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're going to move on to group 3. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next pick a card. Bye. Hey, group 3. This is if you picked the Tiffany stone, this lovely purplish white stone. So let's get into your reading. Your karma for hurting you. Let's see. We need to get 2 Wisdom of the Oracle cards. This one that wants to come out. We have Deep Knowing. And we have this one. We have New Life. And I'm going to Oracle up the 7 energies also. This one wants to come out. We have Great and Full. Then I want to get a Past Life Oracle card. I had one that kind of wanted to come out, but it shot right back into the deck. So there we go. Here's one. We have Insanity. Oh, wow. What is their karma for this? Okay, then we also have, 2 more that want to come out. We have Adventure and Imprisonment. I'm going to get you guys some tarot cards, and then we'll get right into your reading on what their karma is for hurting you. This one kind of wants to come out. We have the 2 of Swords. This one, we have the Knight of Wands. And we have the 3 of Swords. I was going to say 3 of Hearts because there's a heart there, but Freudian slip. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Wow. This was definitely a karmic connection for you as well as them. This is some rough energy, but let's get into it. So one thing this person did, the first card that is the standout card of this whole reading is this card that says Insanity. This person gaslighted you. They made you feel crazy. They made you feel like it was like your fault. They made you feel like you're the one who's broken. They made you feel like you're the one who, basically they made you feel crazy. With adventure here, I feel like this person, you guys went on a lot of adventures together. That's something that was positive about this connection. You guys had a very adventurous spirit. You went and traveled and did lots of things together. You went everywhere together. But as the relationship continued, the more crazy they told you you were, the more isolated they made the situation, right? With imprisonment here, there's this whole vibe of they really trapped you in the relationship. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. They had this kind of feeling towards you where it was like they trapped you basically. The main karma for you and for them, mainly for you, your karma after this relationship is with Great and Full is to feel like you can provide for yourself and you don't need no man, there's this vibe that you don't need someone to provide for you is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. After this connection, it's almost like this connection taught you a lot about the nature of relationships and the nature of codependency and the nature of people saying that you're crazy. That's the main thing I'm seeing is they made you feel like you were the insane one when really they were pretty insane, right? With Deep Knowing, I see that you had this come to Jesus moment where you basically, with Deep Knowing, you had this moment in the relationship where you had to literally ask yourself, am I this crazy? Am I as crazy as they're telling me I am? And you had to access deep parts of your intuition And during this moment of deep parts of some of you with this owl here, you had an owl come to you, and this owl that hooted, or this owl that hooted at the time that you were thinking this, made you realize that you weren't crazy, or made you realize your deeper knowledge within yourself. So you accessed, the thing about this connection, which is interesting, you accessed a way deeper part of your intuition than I think most of us can even access, right? With this deep knowing card. And it was all because you had to question your own sanity around them, because they were so good at making you feel crazy, making you feel like you weren't worth it, making you feel like you were just you were the batshit one, right? Like you were the one that had all the problems and stuff like that, that you were the reason for all the relationships problems, everything like that. They had this way of making you feel like it was your fault. So with deep knowing here, once you had this come to Jesus moment, you had this breaking point with this person where you were like, wow, am I this crazy? Like, and you had to look and you had to really dissect your inner mind, and you found out once you dug really deep that you're not crazy. Like it was them. Once you access that inner deep part of yourself that knows all, you realized it wasn't them. The cool thing about this relationship is from that day forward, you had this deep, incredible, penetrating intuition is what I'm seeing. And with this owl here, this is the kind of intuition that's calm. It's that inner part of you that's so deep and buried, but is completely calm and completely knows everything, right? You guys access that part of yourself, and it's like this sense of strength after this connection where you realize, you know what? I can access this again whenever I need to, right? Like I can access this again whenever I need to access this to make myself feel great and full, right? 4 is the root chakra, and so, this card represents the root chakra, so it does represent this feeling of like being grounded after this connection. Like probably during this connection, you felt so out of sorts, you felt so crazy and didn't know what to do and stuff like that, and you felt trapped. Even though you guys were going on adventures, I think you went with this person to places and they took you to places, but you felt like you had to stay right by them the whole time, or you felt like you were just kind of like their pet, that they had you on a leash or something like that. Part of your good karma for ending this relationship with this person, I'm going to get into their negative karma in a little bit, what happens to them. But for your karma, one thing that I'm seeing is that you got a brand new life out of this. Once you broke out of this relationship, you had the determination to create whatever life you wanted, right? Once you got into that intuitive knowing of yourself, this is one of those situations where they really hurt you, but you made out in the long run. Like, forget their bad karma. You got great karma from dealing with this relationship. Like, you learned about your intuition, you learned about your spirituality, you learned how to provide for yourself. With new life here, you set new goals, you set new activities for the future. You broke away from this connection with a sense of independence and feeling free and willing to go at it alone and to just do what you need to do to survive. And it really brought this new incredible life into your life. You may have met like new people, new relationships, new activities, new hobbies, whatever it is that was brought into your life. You had this brand new life after this person. And so it was really, I see that your karma is like really positive, basically, from dealing with this and having to deal with this person. It's like, that was kind of like, your karma is having to deal with this tough thing. It's like someone telling you you're crazy. And it's the karma here is, it's like, or the lesson learned is like, don't let someone else tell you what you're thinking. And if you're crazy and how you are, it's like, you have to know yourself. And the kind of karma we have here is you knowing yourself, what you believe in now from this moment on. Their karma, let's get into their negative karma. So what happens with them from dealing with this relationship is, because they made you feel crazy and indecisive and that you didn't know what was up from down, they're going to get into a lot of situations in their life, or just at least one very big situation where they're going to feel very indecisive about it. They're going to be pulled or torn in 2 different directions, and they're not going to know which way to go. With this woman being blindfolded here, they're going to have this feeling, make sure the camera's still on. They're going to have this feeling of, how do I put it? They're not going to know which way to go, and they're going to have to access their intuition, but they're not going to have access to it at the time. It's like they're going to have to learn to access their intuition just like they taught you to access yours. But there's some kind of thing coming in their life that's going to do that to them. I'm seeing that it's interesting because in this situation, the thing that's preventing them from accessing their true intuition is them thinking they're the innocent one, right? This woman's dressed in white. She thinks she's the innocent one. She thinks she's pure of heart when they're not pure of heart. They told you that too. They told you were the bad one and that they had pure intentions and they were pure of heart when they weren't, right? So this is the thing here. It's like they're going to think they're pure of heart, and that's what's going to be diluting them. The blindfold's also white. That's what's going to delude them into making the correct choice or finding their correct path forward. And this is be one of those decisions in life where they'll be stuck debating this decision for a very long time because they're deluded into thinking they're a pure soul, basically. With Knight of Wands, they're destined to have like passionate flings, like sexual escapades, things like that, but they're not, they're being prevented from having another relationship again, until they learn to see that they have impure intentions and learning to face their impure intentions and conquer them. It's like they have to own up to what they are. They have to own up to their personality and like change it once they've owned up to it. The Three of Swords also kind of indicates some shadow work, but typically this just indicates a lot of heartbreaks until they do this. Like they'll have a lot of passionate relationships, but nothing will manifest. They'll most likely in these passionate relationships get their heart broken. Like it's like a lot of one night stands are coming their way, but at the same time, they carry with them this heartbreak, right? They carry with them, how do I put it? They might want to be with people and have relationships with people, but those people just want to hook up with them and move on. They don't actually want to be in a relationship with them. So that's kind of their karma. And yeah. This might happen to them 3 times. They might have 3 major heartbreaks before they're actually able to face themselves accurately and honestly. And that's the thing. The interesting thing here is they have to learn to look within. No one is going to tell them that because if anyone tells them they're crazy or that they're the bad one, they're going to ignore it, right? Because they're kind of delusional about their sense of self and their own sense of purity, right? They believe they're this good, holier than thou person, when in reality, they need to look within and look at their impure intentions and look, hey, I'm not perfect. Like I have impure intentions. Like how am I going to look at that and how am I going to analyze that and figure that out, right? Yeah, I'm seeing them as like this armor that this knight is wearing. I'm seeing the fact that they have this armor that makes them not able to see themselves based on what other people tell them they are. And it's making it very difficult for them to live their life in the future. It like bites them in the butt because they can't see who they truly are. The thing that's interesting about this is they're so good at like telling other people how they are, right? They think they know everyone. They think they know everyone's little idiosyncrasy but they're completely wrong. Like this person is just kind of throwing out accusations and judgmental attitudes like left and right, and they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. I'm going to roll the Astro Dice and get a little bit, some more messages here and see what we have. Jupiter. Oh, that's nice for you guys. The 11th house and Aquarius. Yeah, that's what I was seeing with New Life. With New Life here, you guys are going to join some groups or some organizations or something like that. And you're going to find some really free-spirited people. Aquarius energy is coming through really strongly here for friends that you guys are going to have. You might have some really deep friendships with certain Aquarius types. Or the energy of the friendship is going to be very Aquarian in nature, like very much like, I feel for you guys, you're going to have very much like I think that you're going to have intimate relationships in the future, but it's interesting. There's like a dichotomy here where you're going to be given a lot of like deep and powerful friendships and group organizations. Like, for example, you could join like a sports organization or like a theater troupe or trying to think of other things, like maybe you join a book club or something like that, or you join like a painting group that like they paint together and they show off each other's artwork to each other. There's something about community projects with New Life here. I'm definitely seeing like new hobbies for you guys, like something if you're in this situation right now, and you're just getting out of it, you're gonna have a brand new spanking life in front of you. Like you have found that sense of yourself, that you know who you are. You found that deep knowing. You feel fulfilled in that. Because man, I'm so mad at this person for making you think you were crazy like that. I feel like you guys really thought you were crazy at one point. You were like, they're right. Like I am crazy. But then once you really dug deeper, I think you had a rock bottom moment. Once you really dug deeper, you found it's like, no, I'm not crazy. They're the crazy one. With Jupiter here, you guys have a lot of blessings coming in, financial blessings through these groups of people, these hobbies, these activities. I think one of these new hobbies could indicate a lot of financial reward. So for example, if it was the painting class that I was mentioning, maybe some of your paintings get really, really famous and they sell like for a lot of money. Or maybe if it's like the book review the book review club or something like that, maybe your reviews for the book like get really recognized and people really like your reviews or your critical remarks for the book, and have you like write critical remarks for books and stuff like that. It could also be movies, like maybe you whatever it is with this new life, this new job you have, you're gonna be kind of, what's it called, there's a lot of blessings coming in with this. Jupiter's also the planet of like philosophy. So I feel like there's a lot of philosophical blessings coming in, a lot of understanding, especially with deep knowing here and accessing that part of yourself. There's a lot of understanding the world and other people and life in general is kind of coming through. With Aquarius here, there is this vibe that like humanitarian projects could be beneficial. Also, I'm seeing some like kind of psychic friendships coming in for you. That's another message that's coming through. Like you guys might have some psychic friendships, and these particular psychic friendships, people who really truly know you on a deep level with deep knowing here, this psychic friendships could bring you a lot of material wealth and material gain. Okay, I'm going to end your reading there. That's a little bit more about your karma as well, but we covered their karma too, but I think it's important for you guys to realize you have good karma coming in your future as well. So I'm going to end the reading there. If you guys like this reading, like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We're always looking at new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're going to move on to the end of the reading. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next pick a card or in a future video on my channel. Goodbye.